but he said you should have demanded to stay at number 9. Now we'll talk about this because I saw a clip of you mentioning about it because I want to ask you that question, which you know what's coming. But in terms of the season when you joined, right? Was the expectation from the beginning that you were going to be challenging for the title?
Yes.
Right. Now, if that's the case, yeah, go on.
So now go and finish your question before.
No, I can say so because obviously we all know what happened that season, the 12-point lead, the famous 12-point lead and stuff like that. Now, a lot of people, especially pundits, say that the season turned on its head on that 1-0 defeat at St. James's Park where we absolutely battered Manchester United, but Schmeichel had the game of his life and Cantona scored the goal, right? Do you agree that that's where the title kind of turned for you guys, or was it later on in the season? What was the reaction after that game? Was that pivotal?
I think it had an effect on us. Was that the turning point? I probably looked at the Liverpool game, the 4-3 at Anfield, because I think there's pivotal games in a season that if we'd have beaten Liverpool, I think we win the rest of our games to the end of the season. And then we still win the title. Have we done that? Right, because I think there's pivotal games that you win that you know it's going to be a tight game, you know it's going to be... And the way that game had gone, Liverpool had a bounce after that game. We didn't. We went up.
Right.
After losing to Man United, we still felt we had time we still weren't... We were still in front of them at the time.
Yes. Yeah.
But then we just went through a period after that, sort of like after the Liverpool game. So we lost to Blackburn a week after that, and everything started to. We were running in treacle after that. Do you know what I mean? It was like an uphill battle. I think it was the Liverpool game where we looked at each other and thought, "I'm not sure we're going to do this."
Yeah, I think
that's interesting. Still,
yeah, that Liverpool game. So that Liverpool game is, I think that's the second time that I've shed a tear because of Newcastle. Yeah, the first one was when Andy Cole left, but that game there, because my brother was a Liverpool fan as well, but that was so deflating. I think that's when I knew that, it's not going to happen. It's not. So
that's what I'm talking about. Exactly what you're saying there. I think I remember going, and usually when you lose a game and you go into the change rooms after a game, everyone sits there in silence, and you know, I mean, sometimes you play really badly and you go, yeah, you know what, that went good today. You just let the manager say how he's going to rant off and dig you wherever he's going to dig out and so on and so forth. I remember after that game, we all sat in the change rooms. No one said a word. It was. You could have heard a pin drop. Even Kjng Kev came in, didn't say anything. Coaches never said nothing. Everyone just sat there. And he said, and then he turned around and he said, "That's how I want my teams to play." He said, "I could come in here and I could hammer every single one, not hammer every single one of you." He said, "I could have a go and I could shout." And I think he goes, "But that's when my team gets on the coach and they go to play somewhere, that's how I want them to play." You know what I mean? You know, we're looking at it and going, yeah, it was great going forward, but we need, you go to Anfield, score 3 goals, you expect to win the game.
Trust. Yeah. Les, you were on fire that game because I still remember the outside of the foot pass that you played through for Ginola, because everyone talks about your striking prowess, but you could pass the ball as well, and it was a great assist. So you were on fire that game. But like, would you say that is the greatest game you've ever played in? It got voted game of the decade, I believe, in the first decade of the Premier League.
Yeah, and everyone still says it's one of the best games I've ever seen in the Premier League. And just, when we was playing it, you could feel, and I say to people all the time, and I talk about, in fact, I was having a conversation with De Zerbi the other day when I was at Tottenham. I went to thing, and he said to me, he said for him, the best stadium in the country is Newcastle for the noise. He said, as a manager standing on the sidelines, he said, you can feel something that's in James's Park. And I often say to people, if you've never been to Newcastle to watch a game, do yourself up and go there and just watch a game. And I said, and he said he didn't have Anfield up there as one of his top teams. He said Leeds was another place he enjoyed going to as a manager because the atmosphere was really good there. But I said to him, if you go to Liverpool on a midweek game, a Tuesday or Thursday night, really, really difficult to find supporters as good as that on a for whatever reason on a midweek. Anfield's a unbelievable place under the floodlights.